One of the reasons I say that I have been very single is because I just have very high standards, like I do for myself. So they have to check a lot of boxes. They have a very good sense of humor, very ambitious. They're gonna have to be the moneymaker, maybe not right now, but at some point in the relationship. Of course, they have to have good morals and be a good, caring person who values family, who values me. They have to be pretty intelligent. I want someone who I can learn from, so they absolutely need to be at least as smart as me or smarter, ideally smarter. And of course, very good looking.
Do you have a certain guy that you always go for?
My type is very problematic. I always end up liking the ones who treat me worse rather than the nice guys, which isn't a good thing, but that's just how it goes.
The biggest reason most guys cannot attract women today is that they are simply not evil enough. You have to be pure evil to attract women.
Okay, so my friends and family say that my taste in men is a little problematic, and I can see why.
I know I'm gonna need therapy after this video.
Now, do not misinterpret this. Don't go out and do anything crazy. Don't harm anyone, ever. When I talk about evil here, I'm not talking about abusing people or pushing someone in front of a train or something. I'm talking about something that I would call the energy of evil, as distinct from what we might call evil act.
Andrea, are you ready?
I guess.
Okay.
Now, this is very difficult to explain because the energy of evil is admittedly what causes those evil acts to occur. It is what causes all acts in life that we would consider to be evil, sadistic, immoral.
To bachelor number 2.
Hello, I am Zach Justice. I am not as tall, not as funny, not as built, but why you should date me is if you don't, I have a series of explosives in all of your loved ones' homes, so if I get eliminated, so do they.
All right, Andrea, let's make sure we all stay safe.
However, we need to make a distinction between the energy of evil and evil actions, and this is very important. Don't do any evil acts, okay? I can't be any clearer about that. When I say you need to be evil to attract women, what I mean is you need to channel the energy of evil. You need to harness your own dark side. And this is not optional. This is mandatory if you want to attract really good looking girls and if you want to be whole as a man. It's even at the root of a lot of other problems in life, such as depression. You know, depression is caused by not being evil enough. That might seem surprising for you to hear, but it's 100% true, and I'll touch on it more later. So what do I mean by the energy of evil as distinct from evil acts? Well, you can think of this like water. You have this reservoir of water. This is energy, the energy of evil. And in people we normally call evil, you know, psychopaths, serial killers, rapists, etc., that water, the energy of evil, flows down into specific evil actions. It goes from being a formless, shapeless potential energy, which is unmanifested, to taking the form and shape of a specific action or a specific event in space-time. However, the energy of evil does not need to become evil acts. It can also be used for good, or it can simply remain in its pure, undiluted form. So the energy itself is neutral. It depends on how you use it, what you make it flow into. You can use the energy of evil for good. Just like how, on the contrary, there are many people, and we all know them, who genuinely believe in their hearts that they're doing something good and altruistic to help other people, but they're actually making the world a worse place, objectively. They're objectively achieving evil, even if it's unintentional. So what I'm advocating here is the opposite. Abandon morality. Abandon altruism. Stop trying to be good. Embrace evil. Embrace your dark side.
But sometimes I like frolic in the woods and I'm like a dangerous creature, so that's what, you know, I didn't think it would be compatible. Sometimes I like frolic in the woods and I'm like a dangerous creature.
And use the energy of evil and harness your dark side to accomplish your will, which should be either good or morally neutral. But what do people want to do? Everyone wants to judge. Everyone wants to point their little finger and say, nah, 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 that's bad. That's immoral. You're a bad person. Morality is a cope for being a coward. Always has been. Always will be. Now, don't get me wrong here. Conscience is real and should be respected. You should always obey your conscience. No exceptions. But morals are for fucking losers.
Do you have a certain guy that you always go for? for?
My type is very problematic. I always end up liking the ones who treat me worse rather than the nice guys, which isn't a good thing, but that's just how it goes.
Morality is simply a cope for not having the ice in your veins which you actually need to succeed and be effective in this life. If you want to get girls, you have to become pure evil. You have to stop giving a fuck what anyone else thinks of you and go for what you want. Now, why is evil so attractive to women in particular? And why is it so important if you want to get, really hot girls, if you want to have a lot of options in your dating life? It's attractive because evil is dangerous and women like danger.
One is potentially dangerous, but I tend to be attracted to danger.
They crave the feeling of danger, whether consciously or unconsciously. It gives them a rush, it gives them a thrill, and the reason for this is rooted in evolution. See, the opposite of evil is not good. The real opposite of evil is being harmless, and girls don't want harmless men. They are, in fact, repulsed by harmless men.
I'm kind of curious. Who do you think is the favorite to win today other than yourself?
If I had to pick second place, I would have to go with, I'm gonna go with him just because I have fear for my family's life.
That's a good call. That makes sense.
And you don't have to be Einstein to figure out why that might be the case, right? This world is a sacrificial altar steeped in blood in which every living being must be perpetually sacrificed without end. If you don't believe that, watch a nature documentary sometime. Everything on this planet eats everything else. Everything living on this planet is competing with everything else all the fucking time. Nature is inherently antagonistic. The world is not merely indifferent to us, it is actively hostile. Everything from other living organisms to microscopic viruses to the weather itself is constantly trying to kill you all the time. To survive in evolution, you had to be tough. You still have to be fucking tough, actually. You have to be evil. The world is an ugly place. You have to fight back. Attack, attack, attack. That is reality. That is what this is all about. That is what the game we're playing in this incarnation is about. Now, psychopaths, sociopaths, evil men, they understand this. They don't need to be taught it. They don't need to read about it in a biology book. They don't need to watch a red pill podcast. They already know it in every cell of their body. They pop out of the womb knowing this. They understand that the nature of the physical universe itself is inherently antagonistic, and many of them are adapted to be highly effective in this sort of universe. Now, in light of this, if you act like a fucking Boy Scout all the time, if you take things like morality seriously, if you take the rules seriously, if you hold things like laws in high regard and see in them totems of some kind of eternal or metaphysical truth, you are going to get steamrolled every time by people who are simply better adapted to the real world, which is not the same as the imaginary world of morals and ideals that only exist in your own head. Now, something you should ask yourself is, why is it that so many girls are addicted to true crime documentaries? Why are they addicted to watching shows and documentaries about serial killers and rapists? Why is it that mass murderers like Ted Bundy got love letters from women when he was in prison, had women showing up in court to support him, and he even got a girlfriend and wife after he'd committed all those murders, and he actually had sex with her and had a kid with her while he was in prison?
One is potentially dangerous, but I tend to be attracted to danger.
Why is it that true crime is the single most popular category of podcasts which women consume? Completely mainstream now.
At the end of the day, I'm always attracted to danger, so...
Why is it that women are objectively so obsessed with watching and reading about violent, sadistic men? Men who actually enjoy hurting women physically and psychologically.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it.
Oh?
Why am I like that? Why?
Whilst we were having sex, he put his hand on my throat and strangled me until I lost consciousness.
Oh, God.
But he was still having sex with me when I kind of came back around again.
I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
And then the next day, one of the whites of my eyes had gone completely red. Apparently, that's kind of common in domestic abuse cases where there's a lack of oxygen in your brain. So your blood vessels start bursting to kind of try and get the oxygen there.
Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out.
But he kind of kept saying, I own you.
Oh,
you
that text
belong
says,
to
I
me,"
love you.
like threatening to kill me.
Chill the out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool.
The real reason why, which no one else is ever going to tell you about, is that this energy of evil and the feeling of danger, the thrill it gives women, is something they're just not getting from the men in their real lives. And women won't necessarily always be able to articulate this, but this is the underlying psychology behind it. On a subconscious, pre-verbal, pre-rational level, women know in their heart that there's something missing in the vast majority of men. It's something that's actually very, very important to them. They can't quite put their finger on what it is.
The dark side of women is so dark, they don't even know it. They don't even understand themselves.
But they just know from the moment they see a guy, he just isn't evil enough. He doesn't have the killer instinct. He's not dangerous. He's harmless. And when she gets that sense about you that you're harmless, as she does with 99% of guys she meets, it's an instant turn-off. That's the ick that they all talk about. That is what it actually comes from. And once she knows, once it's become clear to her that you are harmless, there is nothing you can do or say at that point that is going to turn things around.
You know what I'm talking about. The shadow feminine means women are much more evil than you think, or they can be much worse than you think. They're always looking for the best deal. If you don't fuck her right, she's going to fantasize about someone else fucking her right.
Look, the way to put it to you is like this. Imagine you were born in a weird, futuristic sci-fi dystopia.
Some kind of crazy future.
And in this crazy future dystopia, every single woman is fat and morbidly obese. Every single woman is over 300 pounds. Every female, from little girls to old ladies, they're all morbidly obese. You've never seen a slim, fit, athletic girl in your life. You've been raised this way. You've never seen one. Now, all these fat ladies, many of them like you. They're like, yeah, you're a handsome young man. Will you have sex with me? And you're like, yeah, well, I guess. It's like, you don't know any different, right? You don't know there could ever be anything better than that. And so you settle for having sex with the morbidly obese ladies with their rolls of fat and the weird smells and everything else. And again, you don't know that life could be any other way. So, you're happy enough. You're like, well, I guess this is just what women are like. This is what sex is like. There's lots of rolls of fat and there's weird smells and this is it, I guess. But now imagine that one day you're walking along and you see a girl who actually is slim. She's wearing a little bikini or something. She's healthy, she's vibrant, she's radiant, she's super fit. And suddenly you're like, whoa, holy shit, what is this? Like she literally takes your breath away. And in that moment, you're like, there's a whole other level of what girls are and what beauty is that I never even imagined before. This is what happens when a good girl encounters a psychopath. It is exactly the same thing. It is exactly the same. There's a reason why, as men, we are attracted to girls who are slim, healthy, fit, who look good naked. They smell really good. They look really good. It's not social conditioning. It's not advertising or, the way we were raised. It's in our DNA. It's in our blood. It's our nature. Your DNA sees a girl who has these qualities and it recognizes right away, if you get her pregnant, those kids are going to be healthy. They're going to be robust. They're going to be beautiful. They're going to be very well adapted to the environment here on Earth. Likewise, when a girl meets a guy who is evil, who is dangerous, who has integrated his own evil and is able to use it effectively in a controlled and measured way, her DNA is recognizing immediately, if I have sex with him and become his mate, he's going to be able to protect me. He's going to be able to get whatever the fuck he wants from other people so that we can have a nice life. I can rely on him. I can depend on him. I can feel completely safe with him. I can be like a little girl with him. I don't have to worry. I don't have to make decisions. I don't have to think. I can be free to be completely feminine because he's able to take care of all the masculine side of life for me. It's like there's nothing this guy can't handle. He's a fucking shark. He's a killer. He has no nerves. And when a girl can look in your eyes and see that, when she can look in your face and see that steady, unwavering eye contact looking calmly back at her, when she sees that little half smile, that look of pure evil in your eyes, that you just don't give a fuck about anyone or anything besides yourself, only then can she actually feel fully safe with you.